Disney drops Doctor Who, but a new deal is coming, says a leaker, I suppose. But yeah, basically this video is going to be about a potential leak which is proven to be kind of credible. I'm not 100% sure on it, so do take it with a pinch of salt as usual with these kinds of leaks. But this one is going to be about Disney allegedly dropping Doctor Who, but a potential new deal which could be forming and could be confirmed within the next couple of months or so. This is obviously going to be a fairly long process of this whole thing. So yeah, here is what we can expect and what we sort of know and what we may know in this video. So I'm going to give you all of the leaks and information throughout this video. So yeah, if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and smash a like on this video, because, you know, if you like Doctor Who content, any type of Doctor Who content, from reviews of Doctor Who merchandise to reviews of actual Doctor Who episodes, which are still coming, by the way, they're in production right now, to leaks and news videos like this one, then this is the channel for you. Hit that subscribe button and smash a like on the video if you want more of this content, because if you guys want it, I will do more of it. So yeah, hit subscribe and like, and let's get into this video. So, Disney drops Doctor Who, but there is a new deal on the horizon. So let's have a little look into this right here. This is an article which basically outlines all of the rumours. So let's have a little look and a read over of this. So it says, rumour, Doctor Who deal is dead in explanation mark, well, points. At Disney, but there may still be hope for the series to return. We then have a picture of the Doctor and Ruby, and then we also have, according to a new rumour, Disney has indeed decided to move on from Doctor Who, with the studio's deal with the BBC as being described as dead. However, there is still some hope for the show moving forward. So this does give us a little bit of hope in the future of Doctor Who could be brighter than what a lot of people are reporting, but we can definitely expect some big changes if these rumours are true. So here's the next screenshot. When the BBC teamed up with Disney Plus to co-produce Doctor Who, the future looked very bright for a long-running sci-fi series, coming off the back of Chris Chibnall's divisive run as the showrunner, which saw Jodie Whittaker step into the TARDIS. A cash injection to give it a big-budget feel felt like the right move for a property running on fumes. Yeah, this is correct. You know, Whittaker's era was universally disliked. There was a small group of people who really enjoyed it, but it was a small group of people. Pretty much everybody I know will say that the least favourite era is the Whittaker era, especially when it came out. Personally, I looked back on it, and I've rewatched it a couple of times now, and it definitely doesn't seem as bad upon rewatch, and I think that's just part of, you know, everybody disliked it at the time. There's this all big black cloud over the top of Doctor Who at the time. So yeah, I think that does affect your opinion and theories on the actual episodes and their quality. Which is why with my new reviews I've basically written them and made them before I even look at what people thought of the episode online, so that it is just my actual breakdown and opinions on the episode. So yeah, let's go on to the next screenshot. So it says, Helping Matters would be a new streaming home, capable of bringing Doctor Who to a global audience. The return of Russell T Davies as lead creative. He rebooted the show in the mid-2000s to great success. Was similarly celebrated. So yeah, definitely celebrated that Russell T Davies was coming back. Unfortunately, the series had struggled to strike a chord with new and returning fans. Davies has been accused of being too heavy-handed with woke themes, and newly introduced concepts like bi-generation have frustrated the diehards. So yeah, looking at this does seem very, very accurate. We were all very, very excited about Russell T Davies' return to Doctor Who. Literally, every single person I knew was very, very excited, and we are all left probably a little more underwhelmed than what we were expecting. And I think that is the same across the board. I think the consensus of this, no matter how much people do enjoy this and not, it felt like a little bit underwhelming to what we were expecting. And that is because I think we just had so much high expectations going into this series and this new era of Doctor Who, thinking that it's going to be just as good as the peak golden era of Doctor Who, because Russell T Davies is back, David Tennant came back, all of that kind of stuff, and we thought that it would just be exactly the same, but with a bigger budget. So bigger budget equals better in the eyes of most people. So again, that's not necessarily true, and Doctor Who kind of proved this, because you can give a show as big a budget as you want. If the writing's a load of crap, nobody cares. So yeah, that's the whole thing. So on to the next screenshot right here. There's quite a lot in these screenshots, but yeah, we're getting through. So Ncuti Gatwa did an admirable job as the Doctor, but with limited screen time in season 1 due to other acting commitments, it felt like he never fully established himself as a Time Lord before passing the mantle to Billie Piper in the decisive season 2 finale. Davies is thought to have had a 3-season plan. With low ratings for season 1, we reportedly heard that it would hinge on how well season 2 performed. The numbers didn't vastly improve, so that means no Christmas special this year, and as of now, season 3 isn't in active production. So yeah, again, very, very true, and looking at this, for example, I think Ncuti Gatwa, his biggest downfall was the screen time. He had only 8 episodes a season. He's had one of the shortest runs as the Doctor, and it doesn't give you enough time to develop him as an actual character. So without that time, I think that's not great. The fact that also he was cut from a couple of episodes as well due to other filming commitments, not great, because we only get 8 episodes as it is. So having 8 and then cut him out to 2 episodes, having 2 Doctor-like episodes, is not going to be great for people really, really loving Ncuti's Doctor. And for me, personally, I've really only started to really like him and see him as the Doctor in the last couple of episodes. And I think that's just due to how little episodes we've had and how little development we've had really for his Doctor. And yeah, that is definitely true. So season 1 definitely had some low ratings, and season 2's ratings were even worse. If you actually look at the metrics and the numbers, the ratings were not good. Definitely not good. It shows there is a pretty big decline in viewership between season 1 and season 2, and this, yeah, it's not great. It's not looking good for Disney renewing that actual idea. But we don't know, ultimately. Disney could throw a little curveball out there and surprise us with renewing the contract, but personally, I don't see it happening. I think another streaming service is going to take over. Okay, so the next part is basically about that now. So, this suggests that the BBC will continue partnering with another platform, and the likes of Prime Video and Netflix are surely in the mix. I think Prime Video would be the best bet, personally. I'm going to say why in a little bit. Whether Davis will return or we get another reboot remains to be seen. I think that Davis will return. I think Russell Davis is in there for the foreseeable future. Which could be good or could be bad. We'll have to see. Time can only tell. Though that cliffhanger with Piper will need to be addressed somehow. Either way, we'd expect something big. We'd expect some big changes. So yeah, Prime Video. I think Prime Video or HBO would be the best bet for Doctor Who. I think Netflix is a little bit too... like, Netflix kind of does their own thing in terms of streaming, personally. So I don't see Doctor Who as a Netflix show, if that makes sense. I think, you know, with Disney Plus, they're known for taking on big franchises. Star Wars, they've got like The Simpsons, Family Guy, I think. So they've got a ton of different films and things that they've actually licensed to put on their own platform. So I think something on Prime Video, which are getting very, very experimental with what they're taking on. They're looking to take on a ton of new stuff. Look at something like Beast Games, for example, that you have on Prime Video, a series made by a YouTuber. You have the likes of Paul American on HBO Max. Again, this just shows that they are willing to take on a lot of new content, and they're willing to take the risk on you know, content as well. And with the numbers and things like that, you really need a platform that is willing to you know, strike at something like the deal like that. And I think Prime or HBO are probably the best bets for streaming platforms that would be more likely to strike at a Doctor Who deal. So yeah, that is basically the end of this video. So thank you guys so much for watching. As always, please comment, like and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next video. Peace.